Yes.
So, how can we apply this knowledge to inner administration to our practical lives, in our
Mm.
everyday life, also maybe in organizations that we're part of, and then even a greater extension to society with respect to conflict in the world, like between Israel and Gaza?
I mean, the main thing is groups of yogic flyers, things like the conflicts that are going on in the world. There was a time back in the 1970s. I can see many were probably too young to remember. No, it was the 1980s when some very generous donors paid to expand Maharishi Nagar in Noida, in outside of Delhi, uh, to a huge pundit school where they had over 7,000 students, young pundits, and they were training basically with Maharishi. He would come talk to them and train them, and they were practicing their yogic flying every day. And so we had a permanent group of 7,000. During that time, there was a phenomenon that was all throughout the news. And people were asking, why is peace breaking out all over? And what the commentators were saying, I can remember watching one of the Sunday morning talk shows where people are making political commentaries, and they were saying these wars are stopping all over the world, and there's no connection between them. This one stops and this one stops, and no one can see any connection between them, but peace is breaking out everywhere. And one person said, and I knew why it was, but they didn't. And one person said, well, I think it's the foreign policy of Ronald Reagan. I think it's what he's doing is creating this situation for peace. But peace was literally breaking out all over. And unfortunately, what happened was that the donors lost their finances somehow and could no longer donate what they had been very, very generous. They donated millions of dollars to different projects and things. And this was creating world peace, but they lost their a lot of their money. And so we lost the big group. And then once we started losing the group, then we lost the peace that was breaking out everywhere. That's the practical application. Get big groups of yogic flyers. Take advantage of groups of yogic flying. If you can do it in person, ideal. If you can't, do it online. But that's the practical application. Bring Ram to the collective consciousness, and in that way, the government will reflect a better quality of decision making and all of that.